All right. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Realms of the Wild. Yes, this is our custom open legend RPG game set in a weird, demented version of the Realms of the Wild universe. That I created myself to torture these people that at one point I called my friends. I'm not sure if they consider me that anymore.
You can still call us that. We have the right to decide if it's true.
Yeah,
We have another name for you. So
nice, and you can't say it on TV.
I love my group here. Elias, what is that you're reading?
Oh, just some light reading material. Don't worry about it. Please continue.
Oh, yay!
That's what we call a shameless plug.
It's a shameless plug that I didn't even do.
Hooray!
Go buy her book, goddammit.
It's really good. I'm only...
See, that's what you need for the next time you get do a reprint with the cover on back where you're listing all the quotes. You'll just put Alex on there. Go buy her book, damn it.
Yeah. Actually, I would do that. Because my publisher was like, "You've got such a great steampunky look. Let's put your picture." This is weird. This is so weird. I had to pick one up from Barnes and Noble after a signing from my mom, and I literally wore a wig and sunglasses because I felt real weird going up there. It was like, I'm buying my own book.
My face is on this book. Can I use it as identification, sir?
Right? It's like, do you have an ID for this credit card?
You really can, because I used that to have someone recognize that it was your book.
There you go.
So anyway,
anyway.
yes, this is a really fun, cool game. You guys may notice that there seems to be more people on screen than normal. The illustrious John has joined us again, so that I can't remember your character's name, Atticus. So Atticus is no longer oddly silent. And we also have Pierre here, so he won't be oddly silent.
I'm back, bitches.
Iruna, however, will be oddly silent.
Yes.
It's fine. We don't need
Elias is feeling
you actually need you.
Yeah, you gotta go ahead and keep doing that. Wait till you see what I got for you. So let's do some announcements.
Oh, I'm sorry. I must be having internet troubles. I guess Zolta can't be in the game this day.
I'm gonna go back.
So first things first, E3 is happening. I believe it starts Monday.
Tuesday,
Starts
but
tomorrow.
it's really starting like now.
Some of the press stuff I think even starts today.
The Xbox conference is tomorrow.
E3 is now. However, with this being a Zelda channel, there is very little chance of the new Zelda game being released on Xbox One or PS4.
You don't know that.
So there's not a huge chance that they're going to really care that much about those. But E3 is happening right now. Zelda Universe, the Twitch channel, is going to try and co-stream the Nintendo Direct Tuesday morning, which is how Nintendo does E3 now, because they're far too good to actually go to E3.
They go to E3.
No, they still do, but not the way that most people do anymore.
And there will be occasional IRL streams, depending on what kind of connection they can get.
Yeah, all of that.
My understanding is in the actual place where E3 happens, internet connections went on a good day are really spotty. So you may get some random streams of people talking about the stuff that they're doing at E3. If you're unfamiliar with what E3 is, it is this huge press event. They have everything from game demos to they will announce new games and stuff like that. They'll announce new hardware. It's a really, really big deal. And the show floor itself is just tons and tons and tons of shiny things. So this is the time of year for the game community that most of the biggest announcements happen. This and E2 are the two big announcement time. So you guys are going to hear a lot of really cool stuff coming out over the next week or so here. So Zelda Universe itself wants to get your opinions on voice acting in regards to Breath of the Wild and for the industry in general, like voice acting and gaming in general, for a future episode of Zelda 101. So they actually have they're doing a survey right now that we would love for you guys to fill out. I'm sure somebody here, like Elias or Alex or someone, can post in chat a link to the survey.
Alex is on it.
Do you have a command for survey?
It's not, but it is
cooler.
It is my show. So yeah, we've gotten a lot of responses for it. So any little bit helps. Just gives me an idea of what you all thought of Breath of the Wild. We've got a lot of interesting responses just already. So if you wouldn't mind taking like 2 minutes out of your goddamn day to fill out the survey, that would be great. It runs until the 15th.
That went super New York.
Have you met me?
Alex, Alex, call your mother.
I do every day.
The other thing with this, going back to E3, there are a lot of people from Zelda Universe that are flying into LA to help out with E3 coverage, but Zelda Universe has a small staff. They are still looking for people to help with the coverage, whether it's actually attending E3, if that's possible, or if it's just writing articles about the stuff that you see. Every single press conference, you don't technically have to be there anymore. All the press conferences are streamed, so you can watch, the Nintendo conference or the Nintendo Direct or the Sony conference or the Microsoft conference. You can watch it live and live tweet it. You can write an article about it. But Zelda Universe would like to have more coverage of E3 in general. So if you're interested in doing some E3 coverage for Zelda, go ahead and you can send submissions to jobs@zeldauniverse.net, or you can just go to zeldauniverse.net, which is the website, and there's a jobs page where you can you can check out what the requirements would be and things like that. So yes, you do not have to be in the LA area in order to do this. They're just looking for people to take on the kind of significant load of just tons and tons of information that comes out. My understanding right now is there's the 3 big press conferences, which are Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft. There's going to be a Bethesda. There's probably going to be an Activision Blizzard. EA, I believe, is going to have a press conference. And then there's a bunch of smaller ones. So there is tons of information coming out. And there's even more stuff that gets demoed on the floor that never gets a press conference. Like there's tons of indie games there, and I've seen even people that are doing Kickstarters that are starting their Kickstarters will have prototypes and stuff at E3. Like it's a really cool thing. So
diverging from E3 a little bit. Thank you, Lady Desiree, for that raid. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, Lady Desiree.
We love raids.
Next thing, for specific Realms of the Wild stuff, we do this every other week. On the off week, we start a poll about who you guys think was the MVP of the last game, and is it correct in there?
It sure is.
Yeah. Okay. The poll the poll winner for this week, surprisingly enough, no one could have predicted this at all, is Zulta. So Zulta
Why not be? I think you're the only one voting.
I never win
we
anything.
get hundreds of votes. Like we really do.
I voted
And
for
only
Luna.
50 of those accounts are from Ilea.
Out of curiosity, what did you do exactly?
I actually shared it and said vote Aruna. So people
Yeah,
don't
I
listen
saw
to
that.
me.
Yeah.
Everyone's
no,
asking,
no,
what
you
did
knew
you
exactly
do for
what
the
you
party?
You knew exactly what
Jerry
you
did most of the work.
A vote for me is a vote for Jerry.
Jerry's her campaign manager.
So Zulta gets a legend point that she can use to give herself advantage on anything they want. I've seen a couple questions about redemptions and stuff like that. For the most part, redemptions in general, please excuse me. Redemptions in general will happen right here during the game if we can. If you decide to design an NPC, what'll happen is I'll actually contact you through email, and we'll talk about the NPC. Designing an NPC is more than just building a character sheet. We'll talk about, you know, the character of the NPC itself, kind of fit them into, you know, what realm they're from and everything like that. So that's what designing an NPC is. We have one NPC that is actually completely designed and ready. It's just waiting for these guys to get to a point in the story where they could interact with the NPC. And then we have, I think, 6 NPCs that I'm working with someone else to kind of design into kind of a subplot for the show. So if you guys want to do that, just click the redeem button and I will probably contact you within a week or so. Understand that your NPC will show up when it fits with the story. I'm generally not going to just randomly insert an NPC, but everyone that's done it thus far has had a positive experience. With everything else, like, you know, the red potions and stuff like that, that happens live. I have a thing here that shows me all the redemptions that are happening. So if these guys are doing very, very poorly and are getting their butt kicked by something that I've created for them here, you can just redeem a potion to heal them instantly and stuff like that. So yeah, or if you want to, you know, screw with them, you can also give them legend points, you can give them rerolls, all these things that let you guys affect the game. And that's all done through rupees, so it's not donations or anything like that. You just earn rupees by watching Zelda Universe shows. So yeah,
and we thank you for it.
Yes, we love you guys. We want you to be a part of our family. It's weird and demented, but it's ours.
Yeah, what a mistake.
So unless anyone else has announcements,
but still good.
Unless anyone else has any announcements that I've forgotten. And after losing the poll for like the 47th week in a row, Aruna has died.
Yeah, that's actually, we didn't tell you, but if you consistently lose the MVP poll for a year straight, your character just automatically dies off.
Kill you off. It's fine. No.
It's okay though, because Elias is going to come back and playing Jerry.
Nope.
Hey!
So
come back as a character who hates lizards and kills all of them on sight.
Elias's new character isn't going to last very long.
So now, to get into the game, it is time for us to return to the realms of the wild. So to kind of bring us back in, you guys have been searching for wounds. These places where the fabric of reality has actually warped because of something truly horrific happening. And the first wound that you guys have decided to investigate, you got information from Impa that there might be a room in a place called the Forgotten Temple. And on your way there, you found a guardian stalker who was just a bundle of joy. Like he was the nicest guardian stalker you guys have ever met.
Wouldn't it be awkward if he was just
took
trying
his
to
head
say
off.
hello?
And while dealing with that, you were surprised to find that there was a Hylian that had been following you named Atticus, who came out to try to protect you guys from this stalker so you didn't die, only to watch Kess kind of almost blow up the stalker on her own.
Yeah,
and he was
did
kind of
I get MVP that week? No, I did not.
I'm the one who officially took off its heads.
No, you did not.
Yes, I did. You did something, and then I did something, and then it was gone.
petty.
That something was putting a bomb in its neck joint. This is like group projects.
We're not a competitive group here.
I do all the work and then someone else gets the praise. I'm just.
So
I'm just saying, people voted.
But
we'll
I'm
be
pouting.
trying to kill each other this week. So anyway,
Is that new?
Atticus, you guys told Atticus that you were heading to the Forgotten Temple. I believe he said it was a bad idea, but he decided to follow you
multiple times.
He just decided to follow you anyway to hopefully prevent you guys from succumbing to the dangers of the temple. And you guys, as you've been exploring this temple, you've been finding notes of the last group of people that had been in this temple, and have been finding out that Atticus has been here before.
All the notes that basically say, "Don't trust that guy."
They do not. They say over and over again, Atticus is awesome.
Yes,
Trust Atticus.
Yes, and every time you have played a game and encountered a side quest that has like vehemently been an advocate for a random side character who's shown up, how many times did that random side character turn out to be the devil?
I very much agree that any
Here, with you being an
or-
author, I thought you would understand the idea of going against tropes and things like that. But no, I guess we're just gonna stick to the tropes.
We'll find out.
Look, we are very paranoid at this point because
have
you
a
keep
very-
talking
You
about
can
killing
reveal
us.
your level 10 character now.
Very healthy paranoia, and it has gotten us through many
Listen, there are
things.
people trying to murder me in the chat. Don't at.
There's
So
my
yeah,
idea.
you guys have found that this Forgotten Temple itself has 3 floors. You've been to all 3 floors. There's been some weird stuff going on, and you found a couple machines that Kess was very interested in that seemed to be missing a necessary component. So from there, I just realized I don't actually have the map open. So I should probably do that, so I can see what it is that I'm doing.
That seems underrated. Overrated? Something. It's rated.
I just pulled up my notes about.
Where you guys are currently on the 3rd floor, I believe it was, that you guys got to.
Yeah.
Let me look. Yeah, you guys are currently on the 3rd floor. And I think the last thing that you guys found was a journal page, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it was day 6.
Yeah, we have not found consecutive days. There's been gaps. Who knows what happened in the gaps?
If only there was someone who could tell us.
If only.
Probably things like, we fed on the baby today.
See, I think Atticus just ended up feeding on everyone, which is how that went down.
You do what you can to survive, like a cat. Eat their faces.
So, yeah, you guys are on the 3rd floor. Again, you can see from the 3rd floor, you can see the 2nd floor kind of balcony below you. And then by leaning over the edge, you can see all the way down to the 1st floor. You're in this very large 100-foot by 100-foot chamber. Yeah, what do you guys want to do?
So should we check out the door on the 1st floor or the 2nd floor?
There are multiple doors on both floors.
Yeah. Let's go down one. Maybe like work our way down the same way we worked our way up. We're looking for levers. I do remember that.
Mm-hmm. That's what you. It makes the most sense that that's what's missing. That's kind of the.
I mean,
shape.
I don't know.
Yeah, you don't know 100%, but the shape fits. And again, simple
Alright.
machines. Simple machines are kind of your forte, as well as complicated machines. So.
There's no way you could possibly 32. No, that is possible engine. God, I just love that. It was just such a great example of how.
So do you guys want to head back down to the 2nd floor, the 1st floor? Where do you guys want to go?
Yeah, Runa's just gonna be like.
Have we explored all the doors on the floor we are currently on?
There's only one door on the floor you are currently on. And then, like I said, there's kind of a pillar in the middle that's holding this platform up. And on the opposite side of the pillar from where the door is where the hole is.
I've been making map notes as the layout has been described.
That sounds fantastic. I can't read that, but
Yeah, can you
enhance computer enhance.
You won't be able to read it anyway. No one can read his handwriting.
It's not handwriting.
Repeat,
It's
actually.
just poorly drawn rectangles and symbols.
That's fair.
Zolta
They have
asks
this
Aruna,
really cool thing now called graph paper.
This is graph paper,
What?
and I completely ignored the grid.
Oh my god. I'm using graph paper, but not the way you think.
I draw through the center of the boxes because I'm an anarchist and I don't let people tell me where to draw my lines.
Huh.
All right, so let's go down. How many
Chester
doors?
is now bored.
Kestrel.
Yeah, okay. We'll go down to the
Kestrel's still
second
here.
floor. Iruna goes back down to the balcony
She needs
floor.
to get here.
Okay. So you guys head back down. Because I have to use my Link to the Past sound effects.
Hey, if you're not using them, are you really going down?
Yeah. So again, you guys, as you get there, you see there is a door without a lock along the east wall, and there is a door with a lock along the south wall.
Well, we know that we can't pick the locked doors, so let's try the unlocked door.
Have we tried
I
smashing
agree
the
with
locked
that
door?
statement.
How well do I remember the layout of this place?
Roll me a history check.
History, great.
Elias, if you meant to share an image, I cannot see it.
Where even is that?
Elias posted a link in chat.
I'm sorry, not history. That'd be learning.
Learning. I was gonna say.
I run 3 different.
I know. I was thinking
systems.
history, and I was thinking, what is history? Is that D&D?
Yeah.
History. Yes, history is 5th edition D&D.
Learning. So a 15.
That's what
15.
the word-
Okay. So you remember the basic layout of I'm sorry, my brain just completely short-circuited there for a second. You remember the basic layout. You did explore a little bit further in, but it's been close to, let's see, at this point, it's been over a decade since you were here last, and it was not an enjoyable experience for you. So for the most part, you're kind of, as you go into rooms, you're remembering what happened in them previously, not so much having prior knowledge of it beyond the center chamber.
Got it.
And you do know the first time that you found food for them was actually a room off of the first floor. You were able to find some keys in there, and so that's the extent of your knowledge currently. As you explore more, you will probably remember more. But there's a very good reason why you decided to join these people here. And it's not because you had a great time here.
All right.
Party.
I'm staying with a group, but I'm staying pretty quiet then.
Okay.
Par for the course.
Say it that way.
Out of choice this time, though.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I guess, and then Aruna just opens the unlocked door on the second floor.
Okay. So as the door kind of slides up, you see the room ahead of you is much, much smaller than the room that you're in, only about 40 feet long and only about 20 feet wide. And you can see at the far end of the room is another door, and the room itself is kind of nondescript. It's just kind of a hallway.
I don't trust this murder death trap.
Aruna's
This seems very
in
auspicious.
every new room Aruna enters in here, he's looking for more suspiciously cracked walls.
Suspiciously correct walls. All right, you can make a perception check.
Sure, why not?
So, excuse me. Looking around from the outside of the room, it's difficult to see everything that's in. As you step into the room, you can see, again, the room itself is fairly nondescript. You can see some vines crawling up the walls. There's some cracks in the ceiling a little bit that is letting a little bit of natural light in, so it's not pitch black in there.
Yeah.
And looking around, you do notice what looks like very old bones every so often, kind of similar to what you found in the canyon coming up, where obviously creatures have died in here. The big difference being these bones have a decidedly humanoid look to them. They're not, random rats or something like this. These look like humanoid bones.
Well,
I'm gonna assume that maybe I know who some of these people are, or were rather.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw it because I said it to you forever ago, but I did send you an email that actually had all the journals that they're finding. You already know about. So
yeah, I read through those.
Okay, so that's kind of what happened that you're aware of. So you are, as a note, I only gave 2 of the people their names. So you are more than welcome to come up with names and backstories for the rest of these people if you want as we're playing.
All right, I'll do that on the fly.
Just randomly. Oh, that was Bill. Yeah, Bill
Bill
liked flowers. He really liked flowers.
Oh, York.
See, if you give John this power, he's just going to be like, the worst of them all was this fella named Elias. He was just
he was dead.
Bad news.
He didn't even die from a monster.
I had
he went to get a drink and couldn't understand that sticking his head under the water. He couldn't understand why he couldn't breathe while that was happening. So
it was weird.
So the rest of you, I'm assuming the rest of you are following Elias and Atticus into this room then?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
because it was my idea.
Oh, hello.
So as you guys get into the room, the door closes behind you like most of the doors have before. And then suddenly you see a bunch of bars shoot up from the bottom of the floor next to the door and on the door opposite.
Rude.
Locking you in the room.
So rude.
And
Cass, did you do
Elias, or I'm sorry, Aruna, as you're kind of looking at some of the bones, you kind of lean down to look at them a little bit and examine them. And as you're doing that, Atticus, from behind him, you watch as some of the bones start getting up and picking up weapons and moving towards Aruna. And I would like everyone to roll for initiative for me.
Oh boy.
My initiative.
Gosh, damn it.
17.
That was adorable.
25.
Hold on for a second. I need to get people's names in my little tracker.
Wait, in Open Legends, do we add anything to our initiative roll, or is it
Your agility dice? So it's a D20 plus your agility dice.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
Wait, really?
Yes. For if you're using the built-in character sheet, it does it for you.
Okay.
Well, Alex is like 20 something, and I'm like, wait, how?
You just click on,
Because
I
I
believe
have
it's either initiative button or your speed, and it'll auto roll your initiative.
I don't trust D20 rolling for me.
Elven Leader, if we were currently playing the game where I play a halfling bard, I would totally do that. But
All right, so Runa, what'd you get?
18.
18. Zulta.
18.
Cool. Cass.
14. I don't want to rush myself, apparently. I'm just, I'm here to play.
Pierre.
Whatever.
Pierre.
25.
There we go. Atticus.
23.
23. Cool.
High
I should
rollers.
probably roll for these.
Or, they could just not go.
Or we can not go with the spooky, scary skeletons here.
I don't know. I don't know why that would ever happen. I mean,
Muppet face.
I just don't know why
That's fair.
All right. So helps when I'm in the right page. All right. So first person up, Pierre. Pierre, you see what looks like 5 of these piles of bones just start to get up and start moving towards you guys. So yeah, what do you want to do?
Where am I? I'm like sort of like near the back of the party with this, right?
Technically, you're in a relatively small room, so you guys are all kind of huddled around each other right now.
Okay. What I want to try to do, I want to try to like kick off the wall and like get behind one and then take out my blades from the accordion and just shing, shing, and, like swipe and like cut them in half.
All right.
Like this. We've missed you.
Pierre has returned, and he returns with a bravado.
Bravado and flair.
So go ahead and make your dagger attack roll.
Alrighty. 23. Let's go.
Definitely beats their guard. So you guys watch as Pierre kind of moves back against the wall, and you watch him crouch down, and then he launches himself, cutting past them. And the one that you hit makes me do math.
Oh boy, not the math.
So you cut through them and kind of land pretty far on the other side of them, with them not really kind of expecting you to do that.
None of us were expecting that to happen. It was like the Spanish Inquisition. Spanish Inquisition.
So that was your action, and let's say half your movement to do that. Anything else that you want to do? Pierre?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Woo!
So that brings us to Atticus.
How many are in here?
Currently, you see a total of 5.
5. Yeah, I guess I just want to pull out my whip, or I guess it would be not off my back, but off the side, and just make an attack at the nearest.
Whip on your back.
The nearest
that is
one.
entirely up to you.
That'd be pretty cool. Like, you just whoosh.
Just unravels from his sleeve.
Watch Atticus unfurl his whip, and it goes over to attack one of them, Castlevania style. And go ahead and make.
Yeah, this is.
It'd be an agility-based attack roll, so D20 plus your agility.
Yep.
And remember, if you roll max on anything, the die explodes. It means you get to keep that and add more to it.
Yep. No. 19.
19. 19 is still enough. Are you attacking the same one that Pierre attacked, or are you attacking a different one?
If that's the one that's closest to me, then yeah.
Sure, we'll say that it is.
Yeah.
The least amount of damage you can do in Open Legends is 3 damage. So you only rolled 2 above his guard. So you're going to do 3 damage to him. So you guys watch as Atticus comes around and goes swoosh, and goes, and you watch the whip go across and slash across this skeleton, damaging it. Anything else you want to do with your turn? You have movement, and you don't really have any minor actions you can do right now.
No,
Boom. Minor action.
Are they all in the like all these skeletons? Are they like in the middle of the room, or are they like?
They kind of appeared in random places and started moving towards you guys, basically just before initiative was rolled. So you guys are on the east side of the room, and they're kind of in the middle towards the west side, except for Pierre, who did a dash through all of them and is now on the west side of the room.
Okay. No, I pretty much stay where I am and ready to attack again.
Okay. All right. So that brings us to Aruna and Zulta. You guys are technically acting simultaneously. I do want to mention, because I think we have some people that weren't here when I first announced this. I've made a slight modification to the rules for Open Legend as far as combat is concerned. There is an ability that you can use where you can try to help out your friends or something like that. Normally, if you do that when it's not your turn, you give up your major action for your next turn. I've made a new thing where once per turn, you can decide to try and help one of your allies with whatever they're doing, to either get an extra attack or maybe toss them up into the air or hold one of the bad guys down or something like that. So if you see an attack happening, you go, "Oh, Pierre would like to help out with that," or "Aruna would like to help out with that." You tell me what you're going to do. I will tell you what to roll, and then it resolves like all other rolls in Open Legend, where you either will succeed, fail with a twist, or outright fail. Yeah, don't forget that you can help out your other guys to make this more of like a team thing and doing cool stuff together. So going back to Arun and Zulta, you guys are technically acting simultaneously. Who wants to go first?
What would be fun, Aruna, is if you threw bombs into their chest cavities and then I threw lightning at them.
Okay. And
you know that ribs exist, right?
Yes.
Yes, but
I have some
room, and then there's the pelvic girdle.
Anyway,
well, you gotta land it in the pelvic girdle for it to stay. Why?
Well, actually, depending on what we can do with the skull, we might actually be able to have it hit and then go down the spinal cord with the rib cage and then land in the pelvic girdle.
Can we say pelvic girdle more often?
We can. No. And I think that would be a really fun skee ball move.
Yes!
While Zolta and Kess discuss the anatomy of skeletons, Iruna throws a hand bomb into the nearest chest cavity of a skeleton and just
lands in the pelvic girdle.
Sort of times it in an underhand way where he's teeing up a lightning strike to arrive at the same time.
Okay. So what I'm going to have you do, since Zulta is helping out with this, is I'm going to have Zulta actually roll me an energy check first. And that will affect Aruna's attack.
Rick also has TMJ. His jaw doesn't open right. Misaligned.
I rolled a 15.
15. Okay. So Aruna, as you sit there and start throwing it, go ahead and make your attack roll. I have music and stuff that I can do.
The music of the fight.
It's okay. As soon as Jody was saying that he'll tell us what to roll, my head went, "Tell me what to roll. Tell me what to roll. Tell me what to roll. Tell me what to roll."
Yes.
It's going to be a 26.
Did a 26?
Yeah.
Every episode.
Cool. So as you throw it, you watch as Zulta fires off her bolts of lightning at it, and they impact right at the same time. And so normally you would do 9 damage, but with the additional electrical explosion, we're going to actually double your damage. And you throw it, I'm assuming the same one that's already been hit, or a different one?
Probably just whichever one Zolta and I are cumulatively closest to. I mean, we're all sort of huddled at the same corner of the room.
We'll just go because easier math. So as you throw it and it does that, you watch as this skeleton creature explodes and kind of rains down pieces of bone and things like that. And
Runa
one of them
stares down those bones to make sure they don't get back up.
Well, they're bone pieces now instead of full bones. So
still eyeballing them while giving a thumbs up.
So that
to
was
Zolta.
Aruna's turn with Zulta helping. Zulta, it is now your turn.
Okay.
And I love how I said it's now your turn, and the music went dong.
Yeah. Makes me feel great. I want to feel out to see if they feel like they are living creatures, and therefore I can hurt them with energy later.
Okay. Go ahead and make me an entropy roll.
Wow. Scroll, scroll, scroll.
That is really loud. Turn it down just a little bit.
I get that on this. Ooh. 27.
So reaching out with your kind of life-draining powers, you again feel that overwhelming sense of danger and deadliness, but these creatures have no life force to themselves.
All right. And I'm going to sidestep behind Aruna.
Okay.
Run, shield.
Did you want to, because I'm considering the check as a minor action. Did you want to make a major action at all?
Yeah, I'll throw some lightning at them.
Okay.
I'm going to tear up with a bomb as an assist.
So you guys are going to try and do the same thing again. All
Basically the same thing. Because it works so well.
So you, she had a bomb to aim at. What exactly are you doing? Right.
Well, if I see her shooting lightning, then I don't know.
And you can try and impact the bolt of lightning traveling.
Yeah, I mean, Iruna would probably just see her shoot lightning at the skeleton and be like, "Oh,
I
right."
mean,
and
when
just
I shoot the lightning, it is like through the hand, so there is some directionality to it.
He's basically gonna see where she's aiming, and probably a little late. Just throw a bomb in the same chest cavity spot that the lightning has already hit.
Okay. So go ahead and make me an agility check to see how accurate you are.
Don't hit me, I swear to God.
15.
15. Okay. So you get there. Go ahead and roll with advantage 2 on your roll, Zulta. Because things are happening slightly different than they did with yours. It's basically 17. The skeleton notices the giant bomb coming towards it before it notices the bolt of lightning. So 17 is just barely enough. You guys haven't missed yet. That's impressive. So the bomb goes and kind of explodes near the skeleton, not really doing any damage. And that's when you fire off your bolt of lightning, shocking the skeleton and doing some minor damage, but the skeleton itself seems okay-ish. I mean, it's a walking skeleton.
So
obviously
now
something has gone wrong in its life.
I do just a little this and get behind Aruna.
Okay.
I'm sorry, can I get that one more time?
Oh, are you trying to see here? And he keeps moving to try and get her like an eye line.
So then we've got a this going on.
It's skeleton time. All the skeletons are going to do horrible, horrible things to you all.
And they do it while sounding like Skeletor.
Yeah. So Aruna, having exploded one and attacked another one, 2 of them are actually going to go after you. I need to go here so I know what they're doing. So the first attack is 33 versus your guard.
I feel like that hits.
Okay.
And that it is
so
10
as
over.
he comes over, he's wielding a kind of sharpened, what looks almost like a femur that he seems to be using kind of like a bone, and comes over and slashes at you. And as he does, he shoulder charges you and knocks you down. You are currently prone.
I'll catch you with a sharpened femur.
I just love how Kiri and I are both super excited about the bone weapons.
And the second one actually gets an extra advantage on that.
Gonna add that to my weird threats. I'll stab you with a sharpened femur.
With advantage 4, it only gets a 23.
Advantage 4? 23 still hits. Against guard, right?
But it's not 10 over?
No, it's not 10 over.
Okay. So this second one comes over and just kind of stabs you while you're on the ground. Third one actually goes after Zulta, trying to get around Aruna.
Hi, skeleton.
Hi, skeleton. How are you?
That's a 17 versus guard.
What's my guard again? Let's find out. That hits.
Okay.
It is not 10 over.
All right. So that skeleton comes over again using sharpened femur. You also notice that on their offhand, they actually have a pelvic cradle that they're using as kind of impromptu shield.
God dang it.
And the ilium and the ischium?
And then the fourth one is actually going to turn around and go towards Pierre.
Cool.
And take a swing at him.
Very good.
25
Yep.
versus guard.
Yep.
All right, is it 10 over?
Close.
Okay, it only matters if it's 10 over because then I get to give you.
Sorry, it's 13 over, so it doesn't hit.
What's your guard, Pierre?
Didn't hear that.
What is your guard, Pierre?
17.
17. Okay. So yeah, you just take 8 damage as it comes over and it slashes at you.
Cool.
That is their turn. Kess, you have watched everything transpire.
No.
There's little noises of joy coming from Kess's region, and other people are like, what's going on over there?
Well, I was just like, this is cool. Also really bad. What else is in the room?
As of right now, make me a perception check.
And
I would like to
I'll perceive the crap out of that room. Maybe. Hang on.
Velvet Blondie, thank you for bringing this so much darker than it was before.
Can always count on Velvet.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I mean, I was pretty sure until they got up where they are, and now I'm like, are they the people who left the journal pages, or are they what killed the people who left the journal pages? Who knows?
You might be able to ask Atticus about that.
Hey, Atticus, I got a question for you later. I rolled a 19, by the way.
So looking around, again, the room itself, there's not a whole lot there, but looking at the other end of the room, you are kind of, because you are a very vertically inclined character, because of your hook shot, you're used to kind of, jumping around. You scan the ceiling and you notice at the far end of the room, there is a small square on the ceiling that is slightly different colored, and you can almost see like a seam, probably about 2.5, maybe 3 feet by 3 feet, over above the side where Pierre is, so along the east side. Other than that, it's just a room. There's the ceiling itself is only about 10 feet, 10, 15 feet high,
Nothing one could hook shot onto, or
there are vines on the walls and things like that. But again, because the ceiling is so low, it really wouldn't do much.
How strong are these vines, out of curiosity?
You don't actually know. You haven't tested them.
Okay, how far?
They look like vines.
Yeah, but do they look strong-ish?
They don't look like they're dying. They're green. They look like they're
I feel like
healthy.
I should at least be able to look at this and go, yeah, if I hold on to this will probably hold me for at least a little bit.
I'm
the Tomb Raider!
I'll say roll me a logic check.
A logic all over this.
Tomb Raider, you got Keith Woman. Who is
Carrie milking that DM for as much info as she can.
I would like everyone to tweet at Kiri, # what is the girth of these vines?
Oh, man.
No
context.
context.
It is a logical question to ask, and I'm upset that none of you are curious.
So you
Water down the wrong pipe there.
take a legend point, Zuta.
Yes!
You broke the DM.
I accidentally took 172 legend points.
You better remember what they were before you got 172 of them.
I know what they were. There was just an extra number that came in there. It's fixed. I just looked at my legend points and it said 107.
That's probably
So
accurate.
yeah,
You've won the poll a lot, but not that much.
We're not even on episode 20. What the hell?
Looking at the vines, you have seen vines similar to this, and you know that they were, to be blunt, you have to actually look at more than just the vines to be able to figure out if they'd hold you or not, because you've seen vines that look exactly like this that are not clinging to like the building that they were clinging to very well, and you've seen other ones that looked even thinner than this and more wasted away that were just like stuck to the wall completely. So
Where is Elias?
you've got no idea without doing an in-depth study of them.
Or Aruna, my bad. I know.
Elias is in another
Over
dimension.
in Long Beach. He's not that far from me at all.
Elias, Jerry, that sounds like a great name for your
I'm sorry,
brother
what was
whenever
the-
we
did
find
you ask me a
him.
question, Cass?
I agree.
Stop it. Sorry, what did you say, Joey?
Did you ask me a question, Cass?
How far is Aruna from me right now? 'Cause he's got
Let's say you, everybody except Pierre, you guys are all within about 10 feet of each other.
Fantastic. I'm gonna do something dumb and hope for the best.
Yay!
Hey, dumb.
All we do in this game.
Because my Goron friend is being beat on by 2 skeletons, and that's not cool. So I'm going to reach over to the vine, try to wrap my arm around it to secure myself, and then shoot the hook shot at the rib cage of one of the skeletons who is currently beating on him to try to remove the rib cage. But if the thing comes towards me, so be it.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll with your hook shot. I'll give you advantage 3 on this because of all the prep work you've made.
I'm okay.
And let's see where it goes.
17? Are you kidding me? With an advantage of 3? The dice are against me, y'all.
That is
20.
enough to
Wow.
beat the guard. So you do 3 damage to the creature. Do. I said do.
I too am 12.
Don't say that on Twitch.
Yeah.
And then you watch the stream goes down.
Excuse me as I shave.
Uh,
You can't really see
yeah,
much
obviously.
of it right now, actually.
Yeah.
As you hit it, you actually pierce the sternum of the skeleton, and your hook shot gets stuck, and you yank it over, and now you have a skeleton right in front of you, who seems less than thrilled that you have attacked his sternum.
Well, this
I'm
didn't
so
go quite as
happy
planned.
to be fighting skeletons and people using actual correct phone
Yes,
words.
yes, Roger Tui. She did just pull a scorpion.
Get over here.
That brings us back to the top of the order. Pierre,
Yes.
you got a skeleton next to you.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go try to go stab it again. Don't hit me, buddy. That's rude. Also, I have multi-attack. I'm gonna try to do a
Yes.
multi-attack.
So if you want to,
I'm
you can
gonna
make
hit twice.
multiple attacks.
I can. I'm gonna hit this bitch twice, or at least I'm gonna try.
Okay. So the way this works is for each additional attack you make, you'll have disadvantage 3 on both attacks, and for every level of multi-attack you have, you get rid of one of those disadvantages.
I have multi-attack 2.
All right. So if you make 2 attacks, they'll both be made at disadvantage 1, which isn't horrible.
Perfect. There are worse things. All right, attack 1
Okay.
does not within a miss. 13.
Okay. So you sit there and you take a swing at it. You get a choice. You could either miss or you choose one. I choose one.
I'm gonna miss. I ain't trusting that.
Okay. So you take a swing at it and you miss. But then you quickly spit around and try and stab it again with your other knife or dagger.
I am gonna use a audience legend point on this
Okay.
one.
So make it a flat roll.
Flat roll. That is much better. 19.
Now, something else that I think you may have forgotten. If you are dual wielding, you get advantage 1 on your attacks.
Oh shit!
So I'll let you re-roll that first attack, knowing that technically it's a flat one. This second one we're just going to keep, and you'll get to keep the legend point because you didn't need it to get to 0.
So I get that legend point back. Cool.
Yes. So the 19 does work. So you do 3 damage to this one.
25. Hey.
All right, and that does it as well. And you do more than 3 damage.
Let's
but
go.
Enough to do a bane. And math is really hard, guys. Stay in school.
Yeah.
I
did.
did,
I was
but
a
now
dance
it's over.
Alternatively, play more D&D while you're in school. It helps.
Yeah.
I can now announce that I'm returning to school.
Yay.
My ability to randomly add quickly has improved since I started playing tabletop RPGs.
Oh yeah, there are so many studies out there, not to get political on you guys. There are so many studies out there that show that playing D&D or RPGs in general helps you develop better empathy. It helps with math skills. Like literally, it is one of the best things you can do with your time.
That is so political,
Learn a
Jody.
musical
Yeah, in high
instrument
school
and play D&D /
You would
any
think that I had
role-playing.
worked
Because my mom thought it was like devil worship.
Same here.
Oh, your parents
Remember,
recorded
like,
that.
The Jack
Oh, man.
I
tracks.
don't even know what I do.
I
It's
literally
So,
snuck out of the house
Atticus.
to play D&D. That was my wild high school experience.
How many?
Love you, Kiri.
How many are left now? Because it seems like 2 went down.
1 went down.
1 went down. Okay.
one-
I
Sorry.
still haven't killed the one I'm working with. God damn it!
There's just one less like on top of you right now. Or
Yeah.
on top of
Well, on
That's
top
what
of
she
Aruna.
said.
You were
Aruna,
kind of
sorry.
next to Aruna, but
Sorry.
they didn't think the dude with the piece of long leather was that dangerous.
Okay. Great. Okay.
To be fair, they also didn't think that of the
I
short
would
leather,
like
and I
to-
pierced its sternum.
I don't know if I can do this, so you can tell me.
Basically, describe what you want to do, and I'll tell you what you roll to do it.
So I want to kind of run up close to one of the skeletons and
Mhm.
pull out my hand cannon and try to like put it right up to its head, but line it up to where maybe it could like go through and hit another one if possible.
Okay.
There's 2 of them, so I like want to run up and like as I try to do this, I say, "I'm sorry about this, my friends, but I got to put you down."
So dark.
Yes.
So
Oh
that's
no, they are them!
that's making an area and attack.
What?
Basically, for each additional 5-foot square in a line is what you're doing. You're going to have disadvantage 1 on the attack.
Okay.
Because there was one attacking Zulta and Aruna, and Zulta was hiding behind Aruna, you can get up to 1 and just hit both of them. So just roll 1 attack with disadvantage 1, and it'll apply to both of them.
Disadvantage 1 is just -1 of my.
What you do is disadvantage and advantage basically means what skill are you using for it again? It's
Agility.
agility.
Yeah.
What's your dice for agility?
It says 2d8.
2d8. So with disadvantage 1, you would roll 3d8 and take the 2 lowest.
Oh, got it. Okay,
With
so like,
advantage 1, you would roll 3d8
Yep.
and take the 2
Okay.
highest.
and I don't add anything to that, right? I'm like,
It's d20 plus your 2 die. That's all.
and that's it. That's it. Okay. All right. So the 2 lowest. Oh man, that's nice. Okay, that's a.
And again, if anything explodes, even on disadvantage, you just keep adding. So if you roll an 8 on any of the on one of the 2
One.
lower d8s,
23, and that's with disadvantage.
okay, so that actually hits both of them. Now I do math. All right, so you guys watch as Atticus comes up and very Trinity-esque, dodge this. He comes over and you see slightly, you see a single tear as he pulls the trigger, and you watch both of them. And actually what I'm going to do, because you did that, is I'm going to double the damage you did as their skulls explode. That brings that to there. That brings that to there. All right, so you come over and destroy the skulls of both of them. They're still standing upright, and they have like a jaw hanging there. The top of the skulls are gone.
That's
But you did a lot of damage. So that's the end of your turn.
That was unexpected.
You want to do anything else? It was a cool move. You get creative, I will reward you.
I will move back just a bit, maybe like 5-ish feet away from those two.
You can get opportunity attacks in this. So if you do move back 5 feet, one of them is going to take a swipe at you.
Oh, I always forget about opportunity attacks.
So I'll giving you that information. Do you still want to move?
Yes.
Okay. So it's going to take a swing at you. That's 26. What's your guard?
20.
Oh wow, yeah. It does 6 damage, but I don't see them getting an auto bane on you. So yeah, you take 6 damage as it just kind of swings at you and slashes your armor just a little bit as you step backwards. Go ahead and give yourself a legend point for that kind of cool role playing.
And nice.
We will move to Aruna and Zulta. Who wants to go first? Again, you guys are technically acting at the same time.
Question.
Answer.
Great.
Daily double.
If Iruna's prone, that takes what? Half movement or what to unprone myself? Or all movement?
I believe it's half movement.
All right. Second question related to that.
Mm-hmm.
A delayed ready action usually takes all of your movement, so I couldn't do that and get up at the same time.
No. Because it takes, I believe it because that's a full action, right? A thing that takes both your
I think
major
it takes
action
both
and
your
your
major
movement.
action and your movement.
Yeah. So no, you wouldn't be able to do that because of the prone.
Yeah.
So because prone is such a low end disability, that is one of the or disadvantage thing, status effect. There we go. That's one of the things it does. It can protect. It can prevent you from taking. I think it's called a full action. So
yeah.
Unless you want to stay on the ground, and that will impose disadvantage on your rolls.
Oh, that's right. I guess I could do that. Which would be okay. All right. Okay.
He didn't
In my
kill any
head,
of them.
you are
He shot and wounded pretty badly the two that were next to Aruna and Zulta.
I think one of them shouldn't be near them, though, right? Oh,
There
wait,
was
no.
3
There
there.
was 3. Never
You
mind.
took 1
Okay.
away, so
Thank
then
you.
the 2
Trying
remain.
to get a lay of the land.
Okay, so if I'm understanding the rough composition of these skeletons, there's one near Kess over in the side of the room.
Yep.
There's one, near Pierre that he's locked in Mortal Kombat with?
Yep.
And then 2
Locked,
near
yeah.
me and Zolta.
Yep.
All right. This could go poorly in so many ways.
Knowing you, yep.
No.
Iruna is pissed off
It's easy
at how
cause-
hurt he got so fast that he's not even waiting to see what Zolta's gonna do. And he's just gonna, while still laying down,
Okay.
take out a big bomb from his bomb bag
All right.
and just try to like alley-oop the big bomb like right behind the skeletons to where the sort of 10-foot area hits the 2 skeletons and not us.
Okay. So you can do that. You are going to have disadvantage 1 from just being prone.
Okay, yeah.
That's
to
cute.
do
That.
But I'm using all 4 of my chat legend points on this.
That's
Cool.
cute. Wow.
Let's go all in. Let's go.
I like that. That's cute, but
And then Aruna gets a 13, and we realize why we don't get legend points.
Oh,
That's why we don't give legend points to Aruna.
All right.
Wow.
knocking on all the wood before that roll because, dude.
All right.
Oh, he's got to stand to do this roll.
Oh, here we
Seeing
go.
Elias pants. This is interesting.
The grand total, that means you're at advantage 3 on this.
Yes. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Is this a good wow or a bad wow?
Well, let's see.
The bad one.
Yep, it's a bad one.
20. Wait.
20?
Wait. No. Hang on.
We're hanging on,
Okay.
Elias.
It might just be the
The
length
vines!
of time that we
The
don't give him
girthy
legend
vines!
points for.
It's oh wow, 16.
Rough. Wait, how do you go from 20 to 16?
Because I was counting all 5 of the D8 initially, and said I just take.
Instead of just 2 of them.
Correction. 12.
You're kidding, right?
I rolled a natural 1 on the D20.
Oh my god!
Oh no.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to point out that if you would like to give a reroll to any of the players, you can redeem your rupees. Right on, you just hover over the screen, you'll see a little button, and that's where you can make your redemption.
Oh
Please
my
give him
gosh.
a reroll right now.
Oh my gosh.
Can I help with this in any way, shape, or form?
So normally what would happen here is I would give him the choice of it just failing, or you choose one.
Wait, negative
Quirrell,
5.
oh wow, you got 2 of them. Velvet Blondie and both Quirrell 08 have both given you a reroll.
We need that in case he does it again.
Praise the chat gods! Praise them!
So,
All right, Jody, what happens
if you
here?
would like to, the way the reroll works is you're actually going to reroll the entire thing, not a single die. And you have 2 tokens. So would you like to use one of those?
I think I would. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, I am so sorry, everyone, for predicting that he would get 13.
You should be sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a little proud of Elias for managing to roll my expectations.
The other thing with reroll
Elias.
tokens, guys, if you do get a reroll token, you can use it for your own rolls, or you can use it for rolls against you.
Oh, that's nice.
So I got
too funny.
potato.
That was too funny.
I'm not happy about the fact that he's making this face again.
He's got one more.
I'm going to use my
Elias,
second reroll.
You have a character in roll 20.
What did you roll another natural 1 on the
No, it was a natural 2 this time, totaling 9.
Oh my god. Throw
Well,
that
guys,
dice
now
away.
you get a natural
Throw that
3.
dice away.
I'm not Lord
Throw
Bailey.
it away.
Oh my god, I
Put it
can't.
in dice jail, man. What are you doing?
Okay, this is better.
Okay.
Was it a 3?
It was more than a 3.
Technically, to roll worse, it would be a statistical anomaly.
Okay, all right. This is. Did Elias
get a legend point for horrible rolling skills?
No.
I don't think that's how legend points work. All right. This is
Broke me account.
23.
23. Okay, you actually do damage to them this time.
Thank you.
Dear Lord.
And that was
Wow.
to both of them, right?
That was to both of them, yeah.
All right.
They're both still upright, but they look really, really bad. They're barely holding themselves together. As you guys watch as Haruna's on the floor there, and he takes the bomb, and he sits there, and he's about to throw it, but he's like, oh, maybe not. But then he gets up to throw it. No, maybe not. And another. And finally just hurls it.
Look, some of us don't have the aggressive logic, and that's okay.
I just have normal logic. It's not
Aruna's
very
one of those
aggressive.
people.
Should I? Maybe not.
He has a giant bomb. I am okay with him being a little hesitant. Rather
He
than
already lit it.
Best response to
Fine.
this. He can't possibly roll that bad. Hold my Cheerios.
Hold my
That second roll, by the way, totaled 9.
I think
Oh
that
my
makes,
god.
that would make a great shirt.
I need
Aruna is
my
done. Remember, guys, you can help out each other
Yeah,
if
he's
you come up
done.
with something on your turn. You have once per round, you can decide to try and help an ally do something. So Zulta, you're up next. Aruna is still lying on the ground, looking very proud of himself after trying 3 times to throw this bomb
Wait,
and not killing
Gotta
you.
get the right angle, you know?
apparently.
So,
we can assist.
Yes, you can assist.
I've just watched
Who's assisting?
some weird stuff happen with Aruna. I'm like, okay, you lie there. And I'm going to... I want to break the bones, so I think I'm going to attack them with my fins.
Okay. So you guys watch as Zulta, wow, my brain is gone, guys. Zulta kind of puts her arms out. You watch the fins on her forearms just extend and become razor sharp.
It's not too late,
Goes
Cass.
and swings
It's
it.
not too late. I haven't rolled yet.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I pierced through this guy's sternum, right? So he's kind of stuck on my hook shot.
Sure, we'll say
Can
that.
I shoot it forward towards the guy she's attacking so we can sandwich them both together?
It'll be difficult. But I'll say, sure, make me...
I'll even release the vine so that I can just like use my full weight to smash into the back.
Instead of the skeleton smashing into it, you just see Kestrel come skeletons apart as she hits the wall behind them.
I regret nothing.
Go ahead and roll me a logic check with disadvantage 2, because this is going to be pretty hard for you to get
I'm
everything.
gonna pull an Aruna here.
And offset
And
it
say-
with 5 legend points.
That's cute.
And Min?
The best is he said that's cute, and then he rolled a 12.
I know. So I'm hoping this does the same thing.
My roll is 12, and what is this?
So
Please.
I you said I have disadvantage 3?
2, just 2.
2. I would like to use 4 and still have quite a few.
All right, so you have
legend points.
advantage 2.
Yeah,
Go ahead and make your
I have
logic
no
roll.
more points of any kind.
Be funnier. Must gain more legend points. Come on, aggressive logic.
Aggressive learning.
33!
Nice.
Okay.
That's how you do that, Elias.
Uh,
I love it when my really crazy ideas actually roll well.
That's just you in general, Kat.
do.
Now Jodie's trying to figure out what that means.
Bone witch.
So the one in
Hashtag-
front of go ahead and make your attack roll, Zulta. As you sit there and you start swinging, suddenly the one that you were going to attack kind of disintegrates as you see another one just collide with it, and your swing is already going.
Can someone please send me a reroll?
No, I can't.
If anyone in chat has
Well,
points for
before
me-
that happens, Kestrel, I'm actually going to treat yours as basically being an attack roll. So someone do math for me. 33 minus 17. Is that 16?
16, yeah.
16.
I don't
Okay,
math.
cool.
Hey, that's 10 over.
And you rolled 10 over. So any logic, or technically agility based, but it's logic for you based bane, you can inflict on this remaining skeleton for free. So whatever bane you want to inflict. You are muted or something? We can't hear you.
Oh no.
Did
Cass
you
is
get
just very
unplugged?
contemplative.
What?
There we go. Now I can hear you.
What?
For some odd reason, I couldn't hear you for a moment.
I wonder
Oh,
if
no.
this came...
But you're back.
Anyway, we
You're
can hear
back.
you now. What did you want to
Okay.
say?
Can you?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I can hear you.
Um,
I'm the only one that matters.
all I have, other than my hookshot grab, which I feel like pierced through the sternum, we've already done that,
Okay.
is nerve strike, and they don't really have nerves.
I'll say in this particular instance, what that is it's basically the incapacitated.
Oh, that's fair. I'll incapacitate it. It just like rammed
you
into
have
its
basically,
buddy.
as it went in there, the bones got tangled up.
Body slam. Boom.
So you've got a choice, Zulta. You can miss, or you choose one. I choose one. Because it is incapacitated right now, If you hit it, this can count as a lethal strike, which means it could kill it instantly.
But if you choose one, you might actually hit me.
Or me.
You are on the opposite side of the room. It would be very difficult.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna
You
take a
threw
couple
the bone
minutes to
thing on
contemplate
the other
this.
side of the room.
Chat, help me.
I don't think Zolta has a couple minutes.
I don't know. Let's
Velvet
check to see
Blondie
if
has
we've gotten-
given Zulta a reroll token.
Thank you, Velvet
Answer to the
Blondie.
chat. It works. Guaranteed.
I'm gonna warn you all. Velvet Blondie's got a lot of rupees.
Blondie's been saving this up.
Oh, hail Velvet Blondie.
34.
All right, don't worry about the incapacitated.
Irina, Y5. Y5. Yeah.
So that ends that. It is the last remaining two Stalfos' turn. There's one next to Aruna, who is going to try to attack him, since he's still prone. 26 versus guard.
Hits.
I need some sort of confirmation from you, Aruna.
Oh, did you not hear?
Are you dead?
It hits. No, but I am
okay.
unconscious.
All right, so you watch as
Oh.
it stabs into Aruna and he goes unconscious.
Oh,
Rude.
The second one is going to take a slash at Pierre.
Oh, did I get 10 over?
You did, but it didn't matter because
Because I killed it.
it had 10 hit points.
Does that mean, just out of curiosity, does that mean it's disintegrated off my hook shot at this point?
Yes.
Cool.
Unless you want to have a little piece of bone stuck to the end of your hook shot.
I mean, not really at this point. I just
You
don't want to die.
Against you, Pierre, it is a 34 versus guard.
Well, that's a lot.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Well-
Are you still conscious?
I don't know. 34 minus 17.
He's 17.
Barely.
Okay. So as he sits there and he stabs you, he cuts you very, very deep. And as he pulls the femur out, he comes over with the pelvic cradle and smacks you in the head, and you are stunned.
Okay, that's cool. Great. Thanks.
With that pelvic girdle.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I would also like to take this opportunity to remind chat that they can send us fairies and help us survive.
Oh,
God.
are we allowed to
Please
give
send them
other
to-
people fairies?
We're not.
No,
But
we're
if
not
I
allowed to
don't-
spend our points on our own
No,
game.
no, no. If
unfortunately.
I have a fairy.
Oh.
I'm
I've
going to
had one
say,
for a while.
just for balance right now, I'm going to say that if you get given a fairy, it is for you.
Okay.
Just like the rerolls are for either your rolls or rolls made against you personally.
Okay.
So that ends their turn. Stunned basically means you can take a major action, a minor action, or a move, but you can only do one of those three things on your next turn until you get out of the stun condition, Pierre. So that brings us back up to Pierre, actually.
Hey, there we go.
So your head is, your head is kind of woozy a little bit, and you're trying to figure out what's going on. Your eyes aren't quite focusing the way they're supposed to.
After the nonsense with Aruna, I relate to that it is a spiritual thing because that broke me real bad. What do I need to roll to get rid of stunned, or is it stunned is just like
You'll roll at the end of your turn.
Okay, so it's a roll
make
at that.
resist roll.
Okay.
So I'll tell you how to do that in a little at the end of your turn.
Okay.
If you wanted to use your movement, you can sacrifice your movement to make a resist roll right now. And if you succeed, you would get your minor and your major action back. If you fail, then you just lose
You lose.
Then I just
your
lose.
turn.
Okay.
So
I'm
I'll
gonna
overall
go
just lose.
ahead knowing me, I'm gonna go ahead and just go for the attack.
okay, are you gonna multi-attack then, or?
I'm thinking about it because you gave me back that legend point, right?
Yeah, and again, remember, because you have multi-attack 2 plus your dual wielding, As long if you make only 2 attacks, they're made as flat rolls.
Oh, hey, then never mind then. All right, so I'm gonna do a multi-attack with dual wield. So it's
Okay.
So it's only a flat roll.
Mm-hmm. You make 2 flat rolls technically.
24 is the first one,
Okay.
and the second one is a 29.
All
So
right.
this bitch will die.
So sitting there being stunned a little bit, you get your wits about you. You come around with a dagger and slash through the pelvic girdle, smashing it to bits, spin around and shove your remaining dagger into the sternum of the creature and twist it as the creature collapses in front of you.
Guess you got bone.
I swear to God.
I find it humorous.
Ah! The look on
Boner.
Jimmy's face was just fine. I regret our friendship.
So if you click on any of your defenses in the on your character sheet, either your fortitude, your whatever, just click on one of those and it'll do a resist roll. Click on the word itself, and all the resist roll is a d20. It's a straight d20 roll. So you are still stunned.
Cool, great.
Going back to Atticus, there is one left. He doesn't look very happy.
It's right over
Okay.
an unconscious Iruna.
I mean, we're not super happy about this situation either. So, Stalfos, maybe you should just get over it because no one's really happy to be here. We just.
Before I take my turn, I just want to say that, Kiri, I totally thought that was a real window behind you, and then I was like, wait a minute, what is on the outside of that?
This is a real window. This is my portal back home. I'm from the Fey realm. I just come
Okay.
here just to stream. Fun
Cool.
fact.
All right.
Yeah, that's why she's
Internet-
got the ears.
And
of
to
the Beyonce
publish
woman.
books every so often and
Internet
sign
over
it.
To publish
there
books,
is-
right?
Not great. Not great
That's
Wi-Fi.
why. That's why she's got the Beyonce hat too. To have her blend in.
Also to hide from the sun because apparently I was poking too many people's eyes with my parasol.
So Atticus,
I'm short and I don't like the sun. It's bound to happen.
Wherever the last one is.
yeah, it's the one that Kess catapulted across the room.
Okay, then yeah, I just want to basically turn towards it and make a whip attack. If I have to move to get closer, then I would do that as well.
You've got a little bit of range with your whip, so you're fine.
All right, and that is same thing. So, 18.
18. Good enough. You sit there and you slash it with the whip. You cut into the bone a little bit. It's still upright, but it's getting weaker. You can see the bonds between whatever's holding the bones together is starting to fall apart. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
I just want to. I mean, I assume everybody notices that. Is Iruna still down?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very much so.
still unconscious.
I just want to turn towards him. Maybe I do or don't know this, and I just want to be like, "You all right there, big guy?" No
You
answer.
hear the
All right,
gurgling
okay,
of blood.
I guess he ain't
Wait.
all right. We need to take this thing down right now.
It is Aruna's turn, which nothing happens.
I go at the same time as Zolta, so.
Zulta, however, what do you want to do? Other than-
So snuggle it, kitty.
Yes.
It is time for my.
Jerry.
I have a really
What
bad
should
thing
we
I was about
do?
to say, and I'm not going to say it.
I said you do
should say it.
lightning.
Jody, I know where your brain went.
Is it a
My
pussy
brain is
joke?
always there.
We know that, but that's beside the point.
Yes, I would like to, because the skeleton is close to me, right?
Yeah, you were right next to Aruna when he fell over. You're lucky he didn't fall on you.
Yes. I would like to step onto Aruna and
Oh no!
What? Oh, here we go.
and I'm
Okay.
going
This is how I die.
I'm going to put my hands on the skeleton and I just want to like
Well, we had a good
channel lightning through its entire body so the marrow dries up and the bones turn brittle and they break apart.
Okay, well, you have the high ground, which Star Wars has shown us to be the ultimate advantage.
I have the higher ground.
So I'll give you advantage 2 on this roll.
I give
Because
you
of
a
the high
legend
ground.
point, Jody.
Because of the high ground.
So go ahead and make your roll.
22.
How do you want to do this?
I think I just explained that I want the lightning
You
to
watch
channel through
as
the bones. Everything
Zulta
rise up.
It's
It
there,
becomes
and you
brittle.
see just like lightning sparking from her eyes, and just going full Super Saiyan. And she sits there, and she steps on Aruna, and you hear Aruna go, "Ooh!" And she steps on him and gets up, and the lightning is just kind of shooting off in random directions, and you guys are kind of having to look away a little bit with how brightly she's shining. And she goes over and she just grabs on to the skeleton. And is there any cool catchphrase you want to say as you do this?
Fun.
That night, the lightning's bright. It's Zelda.
Yeah, you hear some music. There's a couple different parody theme songs that are going on right now. And I want there to be like some kind of meta level where Kess hears, this is why she gets the legend points in her head.
I got this.
Lord of this. Go on.
You. It's interesting.
Oh, man.
My. Hey, Emperor P, how are you?
Oh, I found another one. Weird.
So you sit there
And this one's
you-
from across the pond.
Oh, I love that one.
So you
It's
guys watch as
important.
the skeleton explodes in a multitude of light.
Pip, pip, cherry, fuck off.
And the only thing I can think of right now is I'm hearing Tomo arigato.
Mr. Roboto.
You know what? Canon.
Zulta has
can
now
rebuild.
become a glam rocker.
But probably not.
What in Sam Hill was that sound?
She does speak the truth.
Fortunately, Runa hears
as
none
that
of this.
happens, if somebody wants to go over and attempt to revive Aruna, you can use presence to do it by just convincing him to get back up. You can use
I will attempt
logic
that.
to do
Hey,
it.
I would like to.
I would love to use presence.
I would like to use presence.
Well,
Stand
he
up
said
already.
it first, so I'm going to give Atticus first shot at killing Aruna.
All right.
I mean, saving Aruna.
One.
So just make me a
okay.
presence roll.
Oh, nice. Okay, 28, natural 20. Oh, do I re-roll that?
Yeah, and add it.
Yeah. So you add so you have 20, and then you add whatever else you roll. What'd you get?
Overkill.
A 19.
Okay. So you have 39 plus whatever your other dice were.
Yeah, that was an 8. Oh, I re-roll that too. Oh man.
Oh yeah. So yeah, everything explodes.
A
That's
3.
one of the reasons we use the roll 20, because it adds all that up for us.
39
A 3
plus
on
11.
that one.
50.
So
wait.
he's
I'm using
convinced.
presence, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So Atticus walks over, stands over Aruna, and goes, "Are you a rock, or are you a Goron? Get up, fight!"
Zolta would like to step off of Aruna. while
No,
this-
he's on him the whole time.
Just standing there.
Tess would like to remind the party politely she can heal people.
Well, okay, so hang on.
Technically,
it's
the boon he was using was the healing boon.
Okay.
So technically, that's with open legend, hit points are not just like how much blood you have; it is your will to fight.
Okay.
So yeah, he if you have presence, you can heal. Logic, you can heal.
I have
Yeah.
okay, so that resuscitates me, right, basically, right?
Yes.
Does it heal my hit points, or I guess it doesn't matter at this point? right?
It normally I would have him roll for hit points because you guys are no longer in combat. You go back to full hit points after
Yeah.
resting for
All right.
about 5 minutes.
So either way, that makes me conscious.
Yeah.
And he just asked me to fight and invoked my Goron might ego. So I'm just gonna immediately jump up and punch the first thing I see, which is Atticus's face.
Great.
Roll,
Make an
20.
attack roll.
Roll 20. Roll 20.
Oh man, come on.
Welcome to the party.
I'm sorry, John.
Oh, look at that. 2 exploding dice. Okay.
Oh, no. I hear him trying to help him, just
Get up and fight. Why?
I will.
That's a 25.
I'm gonna go unconscious.
25 against guard.
So you take 5 damage. Because you're a freaking wall.
I like reel back, holding my face. I assume I got hit in the face.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were a skeleton.
Dalton is just laughing hysterically right
That
now.
was-
And he starts looking around for the skeletons.
I say to Aruna, son, I'm gonna let that slide this time.
Since the skeletons are gone, have the bars removed from the doors.
Well, speaking about that,
Oh, jeez.
Pierre, I need you to make me an agility check.
Oh, man.
Cool. I love agility.
Me too.
22.
So you hear some crackling from above you, and you see something falling down from the ceiling. You jump back as a chest appears,
Hey,
or
that's
rather
what that
drops
scene
from the
was.
sky. And then, yes, the bars do collapse.
Why
Why?
the hell are there falling chests? What the hell kind of shit show is this?
Kess runs over to the chest excitedly.
Atticus, did you
Double-checking.
rig that?
I really want it to be a chest, as in like the rib cage still.
This is the fun kind. This is why I like raiding tombs. What?
Just don't hit me in the face when you open
So
it. Thank
I
you.
have to actually look to see what's in the chest. Give me a second.
What's in? Let's look behind chest number 1.
To answer Aruna,
Okay, so you feel the compulsion to hold above your head a key
Yay!
that looks to fit in one of the many locks you have seen.
That's cool. But there's another door that's not locked,
Must
right?
fit in a lock.
Yes, the door on the other side is not locked.
Let's go in the next door.
Let's go in the next door. Can we hold on for a second so I can heal?
Oh
I
yeah.
was about
Sure.
to say, do you guys want to take about 5 minutes to?
I do. Yes.
So
I will be petting
Slow
Jared.
look to Atticus.
Did you rig that?
What was?
I'm and
Did you know them?
DM, please correct if I say anything wrong here.
Oh
but,
yeah, no, not a problem.
I say, well, we hid lots of stuff. We started, and he kind of shakes his head, still holding his broken nose.
I can fix that if you want.
Don't.
No, I'm good. Okay, but we started getting attacked by something, and yeah, we often were hiding supplies and food, and then he just kind of
Jeez.
turns away from the group.
We're
Obviously, a pained expression on his face.
This was not food. This is a random key.
no, it's
If
not a random key.
This was
It's
refined
another
enough,
key
it could
out
be
there.
food for a Goron.
Well, I said supplies too. I mean, whatever.
And you hid them in the top of a ceiling because why?
We
Stop.
hid them wherever it made sense at the time.
You know, at some point you have to stop questioning the logic of Zelda and just go.
Still a
Never,
Zelda.
never stop.
I'd also like to wrap my whip up, put it on my belt, and search the walls for food. So
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
I'm gonna put away my
I will,
daggers.
I will say, you don't know where the locked doors came from. There weren't locked doors when you were here before.
got it. So
So
the
the
key,
key is not something that you guys dealt with. The
okay,
rest
then
of everything you said was true, though.
yeah, addendum to that, I would say. But this, we did not. I don't know what this
Yeah.
is. There weren't.
It's a
So
key.
I take it
Do you know
the
what a
things
key
that
is?
attacked you were not these skeletons.
No. There were no, as far as I know, Jody.
No,
There
there
were
were.
no-
Would you? I can actually whisper to you.
I mean, I think I know.
Yeah, you know, it's described in the
Yeah.
letters, so you know what it is. You are more than welcome to relay that information or keep it to yourself. I
While
will
that
just say
happens,
the skeletons were not here when we were here. I believe these were people I knew.
Oh, is this the lady from the letters?
We are currently in a location that not only has a killing something, but apparently if you die here, you then reanimate to try to kill anyone else who goes to see it. This is actually really fascinating.
Wow, that changed immediately.
Zolta's now wondering if she can somehow use life energy to animate skeletons.
Oh God.
Good question.
Are any in good condition? Maybe the one that I killed.
It's something. What's your entropy score right now?
6.
6. Okay. So, seeing it happen and having kind of sensed them, they didn't have life energy in them, but they did kind of have the like an anti-life in them, and that's what was kind of holding them together. So you think with a little bit of experimentation, you might be able to do something similar, but it will take practice. But again, because you went and sensed how they worked and everything like that, you think things that at one point had life and are dead, you might be able to use your entropic powers to reanimate, at least temporarily.
Next week on Frankenstein's Zolta. Yeah. That's a thing I'll be trying to do.
Yeah, I'm about to say Zolta. Did Frankenstein create Zolta? I'm not sure.
Yes.
I don't think you guys know the name of my father yet, so...
That would explain so much about her empathy and kind of lack thereof.
So, you guys take about 5 minutes.
Intelligence is knowing Frankenstein is not the monster. Wisdom is knowing Frankenstein is the monster.
So, you guys wait around for about 5 minutes to kind of patch your wounds and everything. Pierre kind of, closes the wound from the jagged femur blade. As you get closer to the door, Kess, I'm assuming you're the first one that goes to the door.
I will go next.
As you get close to it, you start feeling strange. And as you get closer and closer to it, you feel worse and worse. And you start feeling kind of sick. You get that kind of acidic taste in your mouth. And the closer you get to the door, the worse you feel. And as you get close to the door, you can almost you kind of touch the door for a second. And you can almost feel something wrong.
Hey, Zolta, come touch this.
Zolta is currently trying to find a whole skeleton to put anti-energy.
Currently, there is.
I know that sounds very much like this tastes gross. Someone else taste it, but you actually have more ability in this realm, so there is a logical. This is not just. This doesn't taste sour. Here,
Tess, you turn around to watch as Zolta is sitting there picking up various bones and just kind of placing them, and then she's like, "What?"
I don't.
She has a pelvic cradle in her hand when she turns. What?
One hand, there's a pelvic girdle. The other hand, I have a talus.
And Jerry is super excited about the talus.
Something very.
Oh well, the talus is actually in really good shape for him. He can sit on it. And...
I'm gonna take a few steps back.
Oh, is something wrong with the door? And I'll go out the door.
Woozy.
So Kess asks Zulta to come over, who's on the opposite side of the room, and then Aruna, what did you say?
Well, if Kess is saying out loud, there's something wrong with the door, I'm going to go up to the door and look at it.
Okay. So as you get there, you feel similar. You feel something wrong. You start feeling a little bit sick.
Ugh. This is
all right.
This is
Atticus also walks up, seeing this commotion. Would I recognize this feeling?
Kind of. You felt this feeling before. Every time you felt this feeling, generally it meant you were the only person that was leaving. Not due to the fact that, you were, you were the one that always got out.
I'm like,
no matter what you tried to do, it always ended the same way.
To the group, I'm like, I don't think, no, we can't Don't open that. It's a door, right?
Yeah, it's a door.
Door. All right.
So I noticed them all
don't
around the door and
start
like
backing up.
freaking out, right?
I just feel ill.
What
I
is-
would like
Like I
to.
ate
What
a
is
bad rock.
it? Is it like
Um,
a gas or like what it is? Ugh.
I want to see if I can sense any of that weird energy, like on the other side of the door.
As you kind of let your senses out, you don't feel that kind of anti-life. You feel wrong.
Is it the same wrong from before? That was kind of the weird redness.
Similar, but different. This actually kind of feels very similar to how you felt at the beginning of the campaign, where
Dang
you
it!
just had this overall feeling of something feels wrong. This world is wrong in some way, and the answer to that is going to be in Hyrule Field. This is like a super powerful version of that, so strong that not only does it feel the reality feels wrong there, you are actively feeling ill because of how just messed up it feels.
We need to.
I
We
think-
need to get
I
out of
think-
here. We
I
cannot.
think
be
the
near
tear
this.
is behind that then.
Well, yeah, I think.
In which
what
case, we have to go
we
there.
have to go.
What is the tear? What?
Well, we told you we were.
There are tears in our reality that we have been sent to close.
That's kind of how we all got into this mess to begin with.
While this goes on, I just want to check on how Jerry is feeling, because if I'm feeling sick, I want to make sure that he's okay.
Please tell me
Jerry's
he's dead.
fine. Jerry's immune.
Miss Zolta, I
Yes,
don't
he's
feel
gonna roll.
so good.
I
Don't
need
you
you to
dare
choose
hurt
even
Jerry.
or odd.
Everybody or just Zolta?
Just Zulta.
Even?
I'm excited.
What are we rolling?
Jerry does not look good.
I'm going to leave this room now.
But
Okay.
the tear's over there.
Do you
But
know?
Jerry is feeling sick.
I'm
Atticus,
feeling
do you
sick
know-
too.
Do you know what could be beyond that door if it's not what we think it is?
What I know is beyond that door and probably elsewhere in this place is death. That's what's there. Death.
That's
I don't
why
know
we're
how
here.
I'm not dead, but I have a feeling that I'm gonna be, or you're gonna be, or we will. This is why I said you shouldn't come in here.
I know, but I promised an old lady who's gonna beat my butt if I don't do this.
Wait, then why did you come in here with us?
I don't. I had to see if I could find someone.
Who?
Is it the lady who wrote the letters?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We just shouldn't go. We should not open this door. We should not. Again, he kind of turns away from the group.
So, what do you guys want to do? You have a key.
If you guys want to go
You have a
back,
door.
Well,
You have a bad feeling.
I understand that. I think I need to go in.
I'm coming with you.
I'm really
Luna
sorry
is-
if I threw up on someone.
is first gonna go over to Zolta and Jerry and say,
Okay.
sometimes when I've eaten a bad rock and feel bad, eating a good rock makes me feel better. And I offer a small pebble to Jerry.
How does a rock go bad, Aruna? I have so many questions.
It doesn't matter. I'm so touched that Aruna is actually doing something nice for Jerry.
Iruna doesn't mind Jerry. Elias just hates Jerry.
This is now class. This is a great example of character motivation versus player motivation.
And how you must
Acting.
separate
Ooh, acting.
Now, important question: does Jerry reach for the small rock?
Um,
No, Jerry, you can't.
yeah, I'd
eat
say
rocks.
he probably being a gecko.
He probably
Um,
licks it.
Yeah, he'd probably lick it.
Jerry's sexy.
Right.
He can lick his eyeball.
I'll offer it to him, and then
So he kind of sticks his tongue out. He licks the rock a little bit. He doesn't try to eat it or anything because he's not dumb. But yeah, there's probably
Jerry
especially
Mama
since you have it in
didn't
your
raise
Only dummies eat rocks.
yeah. He has since it's been in your bag, and is this one of your
It's from my food supply. It's from my food supply. It's a chip off my food supply.
Okay, I'm gonna say you
off the
could
old
have
rock.
those river rocks that you like so much.
I'm not giving him a river rock.
games.
You kidding me?
Oh, okay. All right, just checking. So it would
lizard.
probably have like a little bit of condensation just from the fact that So he licks the condensation off, little of the minerals off of it.
Okay.
But that's all he does. Then he just goes back to, waiting for another story about how great the Zora are.
I'll give the pebble to Zolta and be like,
so
there you go.
Does Jerry feel a little bit better from some of the minerals in that rock?
The further away from the door you get, the better he looks. The closer to the door, his skin gets a little bit pale. He gets a little bit more sluggish.
Jerry will not be joining you, Cass. He's gonna stay here.
Okay, so you put him on a wall, on the other wall.
I'll leave the rock.
Kind of climbs up and down, going around the vines and things like that.
After that, I go to Atticus and be like, "You can have a good rock too," and I'll actually offer him a river rock.
Aww.
So this very, very incredibly smooth stone is produced for you, Atticus.
Just in case.
I take it and I look at it and I'm like.
Also, I'm sorry about your nose.
To which Kess is going to translate. Oh, that means he really likes you.
Well, I appreciate it, and I put it in my bag thing, whatever.
Okay.
Your bag thing or
to the door.
Iruna takes
here
a
goes nothing.
deep breath.
So you open the door.
Wow.
As you open it,
Hold back
you
the bag
guys
reflex.
feel a wave of stale air hit you. The air smells kind of moldy,
Mine's at least a familiar
kind of
smell.
acrid. As you go into the room, I'd like, Kess, since you're first in, I need you to make me a perception check. Okay. So as you come in, the first thing that happens is you come in and you step on something and you hear a crinkling sound. As you lift your foot up, there is a journal page on the ground. As you reach down to pick it up, though, before you're able to actually read it or anything, you look and you see the room that you're in is about 20 feet wide and about 60 feet long. And at the far end of the room, you see this strange... It's almost indescribable. It's a sphere-like thing that has these pulsating lines of energy over it that are almost like veins, and it's kind of growing bigger and smaller and seems to like warp in size, and the room itself seems to shimmer and shift and change shape around it. And as you look at it more closely, you can see the light coming through the cracks in the ceiling is actually being drawn into this shifting shape. And there are shadows dancing against all the walls. And as you're sitting there looking, one of the shadows stops moving. The wall is still moving and changing shape, but the shadow is not. And the shadow steps away from the wall and starts moving towards you guys. And then you see another shadow stop moving and step away from the wall and start moving towards you guys, and another one and another one. Yes?
Like this could possibly be what Brayek described.
Roll me a learning check.
Aggressively.
Although this may be very like Doctor Who in the library, I can't help but imagine Peter Pan.
Mm.
Oh my god, that was so bad. That was so bad. Okay, so clearly I'm suffering real
So
bad
for
from
the
this.
audience, what did you roll?
I rolled a 7.
If anyone would like to send a reroll to Kiri.
Looking at this, you're trying to figure out what it is. You don't really know. However, the one thing you do know, the things that Brayak described were bigger than this. So, as much as this seems kind of similar, the only thing you can get for sure out of this is too small.
Okay.
As you guys are sitting there, more and more of these shadows are starting
back out.
Oh, what? Okay.
I don't want to deal with these shadows.
I've been with Jerry the whole time.
Oh, so you didn't even come in. Okay.
No.
So the rest of you guys retreat back into the room you were in before. Again, you start to feel a little bit better the further away you get from that. As you close the doors, it doesn't look like the shadows follow you.
What did you see? I didn't get a good look.
I yell from the other room. Yeah, what did you see?
Well, we're all in the same room again now, right?
You're
I
pulsing
went very far away with Jerry because he wasn't feeling good.
Yeah, but it's only like a 40-foot room, woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
not that far from us. Okay.
I have no sense of measurement.
I could hook shot.
I'm an American.
You realize that in your hand is that.
Oh yeah. So after I've I'm okay. I'm not vomity. Day 7. Oh, finally! We have a consecutive day. Sort of. Oh, great. 3 men never returned from looking for another source of food. I'm just going to read this aloud. Kess is just reading this aloud.
Okay.
Okay.
Because she's not feeling too great. I asked Atticus where they were, and he said they probably just got turned around and decided to camp deeper in the temple for the night. Slight glance at Atticus of like... He told me to just keep watching after Terrace and leave protecting the group to him. My Tobias wasn't a good liar either. Fair. Terrace has been acting a bit strange recently too. When I woke this morning, she wasn't curled up next to me like she was when we fell asleep. She was standing off in the corner of the room, staring at something. I asked her what she was doing, and she jumped, immediately running to my side and hiding behind my legs. I tried to find out what I was scaring her so, but she wouldn't talk about it. All I could do was calm her down and get her to eat her breakfast. By midday, she was back to her curious self. Just to be safe, I'll ask the men who stand watch at night to keep an eye out for Terrace and wake me if she starts to wander again.
Atticus backs towards like a wall and leans against it and slowly like slides down and sits down, eyes closed.
I'm guessing that wasn't here last time either.
Did any of the rest of us get a good look at it?
Who are you saying?
To you. To Atticus. Just the weird glowy thing, like I don't...
No, I've seen that before.
For clarification, the shadows are not new. The weird pulsating thing, you've never seen anything like it.
I've seen those shadows.
And you've been in that room before. It wasn't there.
Yeah, but I've never seen anything like what was going on with the walls, and I've never seen that before. But those shadow things were everywhere. That is what has taken everyone I knew that I tried to help.
Jody?
Mm-hmm.
Since we seem to be in a space where we can take a breather, could I possibly sit down with my notes and with all of these notes I've gathered and maybe give that aggressive learning another try?
Sure. What do you want to try and figure out?
I want to try and figure out if anything of that weirdness makes sense to me.
Sure. Comparing the notes and everything, I'll go ahead and make another make a logic roll.
Now that I don't,
because you're not so much
fair.
remembering. You're putting pieces together this time.
Okay.
So
I figure now that I don't have like the sickness.
Yeah.
I'm not down with a sickness, as one would say.
Go ahead and give yourself advantage one on that roll.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Hey, listen, you make the joke, someone's got to swing.
29.
29.
I feel much
So-
better.
Sitting there and putting together things from the journals, things from your own notes, things from what Brayak told you, what Impa told you, and from what you've seen before. The tears that you guys have dealt with before have been kind of like windows into another world. That was nothing like that.
Okay.
It looked like it looked like a festering wound. But from what Brayak, because Brayak had spoken about trying to close one of the wounds himself, and he talked about it being massive, 20, 30 feet in diameter, this huge thing. That was barely about, 5 to 10 feet, if that.
Is it possible? Just roll
Mhm.
roll the logic with me.
Sure.
Is it possible, based on that,
Mhm.
since you have used the word festering, it got me thinking.
Mhm.
Is it possible someone tried to close it and didn't actually fully succeed?
You're not 100%, like, you don't have enough information to be able to either confirm or deny that. You do think that this is probably in some way connected to the actual wound you're looking for. Like, this is like a mini wound,
Okay.
or a piece of the wound that broke off or something like that is kind of what you're getting. As far as the mechanism that caused it to break off, you don't know.
Okay.
You have nothing that would give you the ability to figure that out right now.
Okay. All right. So here's what I got so far. And I'm just gonna relay all that to everybody.
Okay.
Also, regarding the bone fragments,
Oh.
I do have now, thanks to when we last leveled, a craft mundane item equal to my wealth level. I don't know.
I don't know what that means, Cass.
Yep.
I don't know what that means exactly.
Wealth level is just instead of me giving you guys money and stuff like that, you have a wealth level, meaning you generally have enough money. Like, you start off at wealth level 2, you guys are still at wealth level 2, which basically means you can afford armor, you can afford weapons, you can afford food and lodging for a night. They don't go down to the specifics of actually having to keep track of your money. You just have a wealth level, and the higher your wealth level, the more expensive things you can afford.
Cool. So I've got that, and I was like, all right, I'm going to specialize in engineering because hello. I want to try and make a lever that would fit out of a bone.
Interesting.
Isn't it?
Roll
though?
me. Roll me. I'm going to call this a learning check. Roll me a learning check.
17.
So, looking at the bones and the state that they're in now that they're kind of destroyed, you think you could probably make something like that. However, the machine itself is made of metal. The bone wouldn't have the strength to work in it. Like, you're relatively certain using just bone, it would just break off in there.
Okay.
And ruin the machine.
All right.
So,
well,
yes,
worth
you
a shot.
could, but it wouldn't work.
All right. Then I
Were you
suggest.
trying to make a lever?
Yeah, I suggest we come back to this later.
Well,
mostly because I'm pretty sure we're not going to be able to avoid it, but there may be more around here that'll give more insight into how to deal with this.
I mean, what if there are more of the shadow things around the actual wound if we don't think this is the real one?
Well, on the bright side, it doesn't look like they can pass through doors. So
that's good.
Keep an eye on your exits at all times. I say until we have a better understanding of the layout, someone, actually, Aruna, if you wouldn't mind holding up the rear as we go, standing in the doorway.
Yeah, I'll try and keep the doors open behind us.
Just to make sure we don't want one... We basically don't want to get trapped in an area.
I basically just have to stand in the doorway and I take up the whole thing, so...
That's fair. That's fair. And I think our from here strategy should be let's try one of the other unopened doors, and then we'll try one of the locked ones since I have a key. But I say we go to the other unopened door.
The unlocked one?
Yeah, I want to know what people weren't trying to keep away before we look behind the locked doors.
Well,
Okay.
this one wasn't locked in. This was kind of bad.
Well, it was guarded, to be fair.
That's fair.
Yes.
So, you guys get back out to the second floor. The north, you have the stairs down to the first floor. The west wall is the stairs up to the third, and then the south wall is that locked door. You guys are going back down to the first floor?
Yeah,
I think so. That's the only other one that hasn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, the first floor, you have a door to the west that is unlocked, a door to the east that is locked. You're coming in from the north, and then to the south is the door that you guys originally entered the big room from. So where would you guys like to go?
Everyone's
East. Let's go east.
just, well, we're going through the unlocked door. Is that on the east or west?
That's east.
Oh.
Okay.
Everyone's gonna
So you guys
stand
go
there
over
and
there,
wait and try
and
hold the door open.
as you open the door, as you get in there.
Everyone is standing in the doorway. He's trying to keep the door open behind them.
Okay. Is anyone else going in, or are you just going to?
He waits.
I'll go
in. He goes last, and then bringing up the.
Atticus, you know this room because this was one of the first rooms where you found a food supply in.
Okay.
So as you come into the room, as you guys get in, you notice this room has a much higher ceiling than the one you were in before. It's closer to about 20 feet, and there are some stalactites and things like that on the top of the room that look to have been formed relatively recently, so they're fairly small. And the ground itself has a layer of something slick on it. And as you guys kind of come in, Atticus, you hear a relatively familiar sound that kind of brings you back to here 20 years ago. The rest of you guys hear this. And from in the ceiling, you see a swarm of geese come flying down at you guys. And that is where we are going to end it for this week. I want to thank everybody that tuned in live. Again, we really enjoy having you guys here. Again, watching any Zelda Universe stuff, you earn rupees just for watching it, and then you can redeem them here in Realms of the Wild for a bunch of different things. You can redeem them in other shows as well. So, please tune in live to the show, and then you can actually have an effect on the show. Everything from, again, giving them rerolls and legend points all the way up to things like creating NPCs or adding monsters or removing monsters from encounters, things like that. We won't be playing next week, but we will be playing the week after, as long as, the world still exists at that point. Next week, if you weren't able to catch the entire thing, you can actually go to the video on demand here on Twitch and watch the entire episode. Otherwise, next week it'll be uploaded to the YouTube channel if YouTube is your preferred video on demand platform, and all the rest of the episodes are on YouTube and on the Twitch VOD as well. So wherever you want to watch them, you can watch the entire series. As always, please follow Zelda Universe on Twitter. Follow the Twitch channel. You are welcome to subscribe to the channel as well. It helps to pay for things like server costs for Zelda Universe and other things that cost them money. You're welcome to subscribe to the channel. For the people that are playing, I guess I'll start with Ilea this time. Ilea, if people wanted to stalk or follow you, where would they go?
Internet stalking encouraged, real life stalking not so encouraged. You can go anywhere, see me as Green-Eyed Trombonist, other than Twitter, where it's Green-Eyed T-Bone.
All right. Elias.
What an ending. Sorry. Yes?
We love that
No
promo.
spoilers. I'm only 130 pages in.
I literally just read the last sentence of the book without reading it.
Elias, if
Wait,
people
are you
wanted to
guys
stalk you.
Of course, they're promoting your book.
Literally right as I get up to go down.
We waited
Go
until
back
you
to your
left.
book.
Yeah, I follow me at Elias Thompson everywhere. I do a show on another Twitch channel, Winecraft TV on Twitch. The show is called Winecraft Wednesday. It is where I and a co-host drink and rate wines while playing Minecraft. I will not be on it next week though, because I'll be at E3. So my unnamed co-host will have to do it with a guest host.
There's going to be a whole lot of different hosts happening.
Alex, if people want to follow you or see the things that you're doing.
I don't know why you want to see the things that I'm doing. They're weird. But anyway.
Come on, Alex.
I'm kidding. I'm the only person kidding. You can find me at Luca_Starks. Pretty much most places. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Twitch. So if you want to get these super cool emotes I just threw in the chat, make sure you sub to the Twitch. We are playing BioShock Infinite right now and revisiting that storyline and seeing if we can figure out the path of that ending, which is quite fun. There might be some tonight. Who knows? We'll see, depending on packing. I'm at youtube.com/LucasStarks without the underscore. AlexRosenberg.net, other places on the internet. I stream here on Mondays, but there won't be a stream on Monday of James Done Poorly because I'll be at Disney with Elias and other ZU people. But there might be some more streams on the ZU TV Twitch because I'm going to the Smash Invitational and hopefully streaming some of that. You'll be getting a lot of good YouTube content, hopefully this week from us at E3. And then also I am moderating a Twitch channel for a guy by the name of Mac Does It. So twitch.tv/MacDoesIt if you want to interact with me in chat. Right now he's playing Detroit Become Human. And I think that's it.
Cool.
Also go buy Kiri's book. Always be branding, damn it.
If people wanted to maybe randomly find you doing something like, maybe playing Minecraft or maybe playing Pokemon on Mondays or something.
That doesn't happen anymore. So.
Really? Pokemon Days failed again?
Once again, yeah. I have something else planned for Mondays. Yeah, you can follow me at...
Wonder how long that will last.
It will. Listen. I'm sorry. I understand the lack of faith. I'm not going to hold it against you.
Oh, shit.
Saturnaut at Everywhere. I do a show on Wednesdays with a person where we drink wine and play Minecraft, and that is at Winecraft TV on Twitch.
I've heard your co-host is kind of weird, though.
Shows. These are two separate shows.
They're two separate shows.
Two separate shows with the same name on the same channel at the same time.
Yeah.
I only know Elias through Realms. I mean, I've never met him before or anything.
No.
So, anyway.
People again.
I also do some mixology stuff, and you can follow my my Instagram at Lushographer on Instagram. Yes, and that is it.
You will. I will guarantee you will have to at least type that out in chat because I would never be able to spell that.
It's like
it's a promo
instead of.
And then Kiri, if people wanted to follow you or maybe meet you and get a signed copy of your book within 2 weeks or so.
Oh gosh, that is a thing, isn't it? Ooh, excuse me.
I'm glad I keep you so enwrapped.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't sleep a lot. Anyway, I picked someone up from the airport very late last night. Anyway. Hello, I'm Kiri Callaghan. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, and those are the ones under that name. And then Kiri Callaghan Writes, or Kiri S. Callaghan on Facebook, and Kiri on Patreon, and Curiosity on Twitch, but I haven't actually streamed in a long time. If you want, you can pick up a copy of my book. If you are for some reason in Westport, Washington for Rusty Scupper Pirate Days, you can come meet me in person and I will sign it and make funny "arr" noises at you. Because it is Pride Week, I'm going to definitely talk about this shirt, which is Bleep the Town, Save Your Girlfriend. You can find it on Redbubble.
If you don't know what that's a reference to, I think, do you have your Life is Strange playthrough on your YouTube channel?
I do, I believe. Okay.
Go to her YouTube channel, watch her Life is Strange playthrough because it's awesome.
Oh, thank you.
And slightly like it was, I watched it live because I was a fan long before I actually got to meet her, and it is an intense game.
It is a very intense game.
So watching Kiri play through it was an experience, and then the very end of it was just brilliant, and it turned into a T-shirt. So
oh, thank you so much. I actually don't get really any money from that. I think I lowered it as much as it would let me. I think I get maybe 10 cents, which is fine. I don't really care.
Buy like 50,000.
I just want it in the world because it makes me happy. If you go on YouTube, you will find gameplay videos, you will find random curiosities, and you will find music because I also sing. And in fact, I sang a song with Jodie, and it is lovely and amazing. And we did Tangled, and it was beautiful. And then
that was so pretty.
I know. If you can't go to Rusty Scuppers, you can find this on pretty much any website. It's ALYS Alice, the Terra Miriam Chronicles by me. And if for some reason you want to stalk the progress of book 2, you can find it on Patreon, where I'm giving teasers and snippets depending on your level of patronage.
Take a deep
and then
breath.
For me, again, I'm TrainerJodie everywhere. I'm on Twitter, I'm on YouTube, I'm on Twitch. On Wednesday nights, I run 2 different D&D campaigns. I run them on alternating weeks. Both of them are set in my custom world. Both of them, I'm much meaner to my players than I am to you guys here. So yeah, they're, the first one, the Kingdom of the Kale Isles, next month will have been running for 3 years. And the other one, the Legend of the Three Kingdoms, has only been running a few months now, but the group played a previous campaign and then we ended that campaign and started this. So they've been playing together for a little over a year and a half now. So both that stuff is really cool. I have a YouTube channel. I've been doing a lot of D&D themed content where I talk about different classes and things like that, talk about the mechanics and how to play it well and the lore and stuff. I do these in-depth guides. I do other things as well. Like I'll do, I do conversations if I can. I have music on my my channel as well. It's not nearly as awesomely produced as Curious Stuff.
Stop with the...
It has no accompaniment.
I don't care. He's got a lovely voice. Don't let him freaking talk himself down.
It could be worse. It could be me singing.
Yes, it could be him singing. Which
when the musical episode happens, that
So yeah, feel free to do that. I am also on Patreon. I'm TrainerJodie on Patreon. So if you want to become a patron and help me to do things like I just got a new camera so I can make some higher quality content. I need to get a new microphone and stuff like that. Sub to me on Twitch, support me on Patreon, anything like that. All of that helps me to be able to pay for really expensive things like decent microphones and editing software and stuff like that. So, and I also post updates about my life. I talk a lot about mental health because I have far more mental disorders than I will get into here. But yes, I know a lot about abnormal psych simply from living through it. Feel free to follow any of us. Again, check out not only Zelda Universe on Twitter and stuff like that. They have a YouTube channel. I think you guys, for the new dub you guys are doing, you've done 2 episodes now or 3?
Yep, episode 2 just launched yesterday. We also have Zelda 101, which has been running for about 2 weeks, and maybe there'll be an episode this week. I don't know. We'll see.
So they've actually done, how many dub projects have you guys done now?
5,000.
This is our first remake, but we did original Hyrule Warriors, we did Wind Waker, Skyward Sword, Twilight Princess. We've done some side series as well.
So about half a dozen. They have all the cutscenes and stuff like that. They get people to voice them. They edit them together. They're really, really cool. This one they're actually redoing to kind of bring it up to the standard that they've created with these other edits. And it's a really cool experience. So check that out. Watch their YouTube channel and their socials and stuff, because every time they do a new dub, anyone can audition. I would have auditioned if I'd had the time for, I think it was the Twilight Princess dub.
Well, on that note, actually, we have Link's Awakening's dub is happening pretty soon as well. That after Hyrule Warriors finishes, that's the next one. And then we are starting pre-production for the Ocarina of Time dub. So
all right, so awesome stuff. If you've never done voice acting or things like that, this is actually a really great way to kind of get a taste of it, and you get to work with some really cool people. So yeah, check out all that stuff. Now that I'm done selling everything, please check out Elias's SoundCloud for his brand new album Into the Thompson.
Into the Thompson.
Yeah, that's
And now Elias actually has to make that.
that's real.
So good job, Elias.
That's definitely real.
Or that's a podcast name.
Before we go, I do want to make mention one of the redemptions that happened a while ago that we have not done yet is somebody used all of their rupees for us to do a musical episode. I am working with Elias and Alex, the other two producers on the show. We are going to be having that. It's looking to be still a few months away, but it is going to be an entire musical episode. We're working on possibly getting accompaniment for it. Like, this is going to be something really, really cool. That will be coming. I promise you. It just, for something like that, it takes time, and we really want to make it something special because of how many rupees it cost for that person to redeem it.
Sure do.
So yeah, other than that, thank you so much for tuning in. Please tune in tonight. Do we have a Cody Zone?
No, he's going to be
We
on.
don't have a Cody Zone tonight, but tomorrow we have 2 shows.
Just one. Jake.
Just one.
There's a lot of shows that are canceled this week because of E3.
Yeah, because of E3, things are going to be weird. But feel free to tune in tomorrow for Snake Run with Jake D. There will be random streams about E3 on the channel at all for the next week. So follow the channel to know when they're to get notifications and stuff when they're going to be going live. And you might be able to get some pretty exclusive E3 news pretty quickly, because they're going to have people physically there. They're having people watch episodes, all that stuff. So anyway, that is all for me today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time. All right. Bye.
Bye.
So that's how the book starts.